Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, then I'm so happy to meet you. If not, then welcome back. As you can tell by the title of today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 common autistic traits in girls. Before I get into that, as always, if you like the sounds of this video, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Feel free to comment down below, let's get a conversation going, and also share my channel or videos with friends, family, or people who you feel might get something from this. Before I get into 5 common autistic traits in girls, I just want to mention that this month, July, is Disability Pride Month, so happy Disability Pride. I want to say that Disability Power Ireland, and you can find them on Facebook, and they also have a website, are running events both online and in person throughout July. There's some fantastic events. They have a list of them on their website. I've already did the launch. I watched that online, and also another event online as well, which is fantastic. But they do have some in-person events as well, so they are definitely worth checking out. And next year, for Disability Pride Month, so July 2023, there is going to be a Disability Pride Parade, so check them out. So, getting into today's video, are 5 common autistic traits in girls. I'm going to start with, this is probably one of the biggest ones, and I think it's one that's probably one of the most talked about ones, and I think it's also an important trait to talk about, because I feel like it's one of the reasons girls, women, can be diagnosed later in life compared to boys or men. So that is masking. So masking is, the best way I can explain it from my own experience is, and this particularly in my teenage years, is watching what other people around you are doing, what is considered socially acceptable, what is considered the norm, and sort of mimicking those actions, those behaviours, and the way people are in society. And it's a way of, I suppose, quite simply masking who you are, covering up who you are, covering up your autistic traits, such as perhaps stimming, if you struggle with eye contact, perhaps trying to make eye contact. So different things like that. And the fact that girls are so good at masking is one of the reasons that girls are diagnosed later in life quite often. I was diagnosed at the age of 17, which all too often is the case with girls, and often even later in life. Another one I wanted to talk about was sort of difficulty making friends and difficulty maintaining friendships. I think that's something that I particularly struggled with, is actually the maintaining the friendships, because I feel like a lot of the time I wouldn't sort of be interested in doing the same things as my friends, or I might be struggling from, let's say, burnout, or there might be situations or events that I feel won't suit me in regards to like the sensory issues I would have. And particularly when I was undiagnosed in my teenage years, I had all this going on and I didn't realise why I was feeling the way I was feeling, and so that led me to sort of making excuses for not maybe attending parties or events or days out with friends. And I think that made it seem like I wasn't making an effort, or that I didn't want to make an effort. And I feel like that's why maintaining friendships can be quite difficult. And I think that's something that is quite common with autistic girls. Making friends is something that I would struggle with too. And I think that's because and this leads on to actually the third trait I want to talk about, is being seen as shy. I could definitely be seen as shy, particularly when I meet someone for the first time. Whereas for people that I know, like and my family and my mother, I talk, never stop talking. But if I meet somebody new, I would be quiet. And particularly if, let's say, I'm with a group of my, let's say, neurotypical friends, and we meet new people, I find that I would always be someone that would kind of shrink back a bit and not be so good at taking part in the conversation or taking part in getting to know somebody. But yeah, being seen as shy would would be another common trait in girls. And then another one is passionate and limited interests. So speaking from my own experience, from a young age, I've had very specific interests, and if I have an interest, I'm really interested in it. So one of the big things for me growing up was horses. Huge interest in horses. It wasn't just I like to see them in the field, they're lovely. I had to know everything about them. I had to know the different breeds. I had to know what medical problems they can have, how you treat different medical problems. I had to know all the different colours, everything. I had to know everything. I had to know everything about the brushes you have to use on them, the saddle, the bridle, absolutely everything. And so that for me was kind of one of my main interests, and as I said, very passionate, and people I'd talk about it a lot, and it was something for me that I always felt very comfortable talking about, whereas some people probably got a little bit sick of listening to me talking about horses. I still am the same. I even have like a little figurine of a horse there. Yeah. And as I got older then, I feel like some of my interests would be kind of like maybe like crime documentaries, or like crime seasons, that sort of thing. That would be kind of one of my main interests now. But yeah, I would definitely have very specific, limited interests. But I think as well as that, I definitely don't think it's a negative thing, because I think that, and this goes for autistic boys, girls, everyone, when we have an interest, we learn so much about it. We have such an interest, we are so passionate about it, that I think that we're very knowledgeable in that area. And I feel like that's something that people can overlook sometimes when it comes to maybe like employment and things like that. It's just how passionate we can be about things, how dedicated we can be to an area or a topic that we're interested in. But yeah, employment, that's probably a topic for another day. So moving along, I believe, have I spoken about 4 different traits? I believe I've done 4. So I'm on to number 5, and that is depression and anxiety. A study shows that 40% of autistic girls have an anxiety disorder. I myself do have an anxiety disorder, and I also struggled quite a bit in my sort of late teen years, early 20s with depression. I am on antidepressants, which have helped me a lot. I have found them to be a great help. I feel that a lot of my anxiety probably came from, probably in a way from masking, and from the pressure of masking, and the pressure of trying to fit in, and the pressure of trying to fit the norm. And of course, because I didn't know I was autistic until the age of 17, I didn't know why I was feeling certain ways. And I know that this is something that a lot of autistic girls often say, that anxiety and depression is something that they can struggle with. Of course, that is across the board for any autistic person. But I feel like from talking about the masking, through talking about making friends, talking about depression and anxiety, I feel like there's this link between all the different traits that I've spoken about today. And I feel that there's this link with these traits and with often the misdiagnosis of autistic girls and the late diagnosis of autistic girls, which is, it's staggering how many girls are not diagnosed until much later in life. And it's because the model we have for, I suppose, diagnosing is very much based on boys and the traits that boys display. And that's why many of the traits that girls display, and the fact that we mask and we hide so many autistic traits, is why there is this late diagnosis or misdiagnosis. But yeah, they are, I believe I spoke about 5 common traits. We did masking, we did being seen as shy, we did passionate and limited interests, we did difficulty making friends and maintaining friendships, and then we also did depression and anxiety. So thank you very much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something from it. If you liked it, let me know in the comments below, and I can do a part 2 with some more common autistic traits found in girls. And don't forget about Disability Pride Month. I will leave some of the details down below, and you can check out some of the events that are coming up. I shall see you in my next YouTube video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.